Yo, is we live? Is we live? Hold on, let me see right quick, man. I'm sorry, man. All the Q&A start with me trying to figure out if this shit is working or not. Please, bear with me. Pretty confident it's working. Should be working. Hold up. Can you hear me? Anybody hear me out there? All right, I think we good. All right, so check me out. You have to be careful about the people you spend time with. Like you have to be something you need to be cognizant of, right? Because there's a lot of research that shows that like you become like the average of the people you're around. Like there's been studies where they've taken like random people and they went to see and they tried to see who they figured out the five people that they spent the bulk of their time with, right? And then what they noticed is they got the annual income of each person, and they noticed that almost all the time the subjects were had their the subject's income was about average of the five people they were around. So it's not just income; it's everything. It's like it's life. You become like the people you spend your time with. So that's something you need to be careful about. You have to be cognizant of that and and be diligent about it. Scrutinize people. Like, is this somebody you really think about the people in your life? Think about the people you spend time with. Are these the type of motherfuckers you really want to be around? Or do I not want to be around, but want to be like? That's how I judge like people. Like if I'm going to spend time with somebody, they have to be some person who exhibits qualities that I don't mind adapting to, that I don't mind subconsciously taking on myself. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to be aware that that's going to happen. Like subconsciously, you're gonna adapt some of their qualities. It's going to happen. And it's a lot of research to show that. That's why like people who are around me consistently, I'm like, yo, what up, George? I'm kind of like George. People who are around me consistently, like I'm really like I'm almost hard on them. Pause. Like I I scrutinize everything they do. I hold them to a standard, right? And if they don't if they don't rise to that standard that I hold them to, I disassociate myself with them. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you got to do that with friends. You got to do that with family. Like my homie, my cousin, Chicago G. I grew up with him, and we went to the same college. He actually, I was hanging out with him. He got me kicked out of high school. Oh, he didn't get me kicked out of high school, but I don't think it was a coincidence that I was with him when we both got kicked out. So he actually went. I got back in or whatever. He was a senior, so he was older than me. He was a senior. They just gave him his diploma. But then when we got to college, I was like, I noticed that I needed to distance myself from him. You know what I'm saying? Like we both went to a good college, but he he kept getting arrested in school all the time. He got shot. He was definitely doing some thug shit. And I just didn't want that. So I had to distance myself from him. You know what I'm saying? Because like when I was around him, I was getting in a lot of trouble, right? And when I distanced myself from him, things were different. So I'm just saying, I don't want to rant too much about this, but I like to start the fucking live cast off with drop some jewels and shit. Be careful about the person you spend time, people you spend time with, and this goes for like significant others too. Like just because she's fine, man, don't mean you want to spend time around her. It's you don't want to. You got to think, is this somebody you mind becoming like? And it's hard, man. That's why, be real. That's the biggest decision. So anyway, oh, and you'll have friends. That's why. Okay, there's another thing I want to say. Once you start elevating yourself, like once you start moving up in energy, when you start raising your energy, you start learning things, you start becoming a better person. You might lose friends, and that's just because you guys don't match up anymore, man. You guys have less in common, and you just fall apart. Don't be afraid of that, man. That's you growing to the next step. I'm kind of fucking ranting right now. Let me answer some questions, man. Yo, do you want? Hold up, man. Yeah. All right, yo. Yo, whey or weight gainer, which is better? Well, better, you have to be more descriptive. You know, I have to know what you're trying to accomplish in order to say what's going to be better for you. You know what I'm saying? I take whey protein, um, but better, it just depends on what you're trying to accomplish. Whey protein, weight gainer is basically whey protein with a bunch of calories and maybe some sugar and something. It's a lot more calories, basically. So I mean, that's what you need. How you pick up girls at the gym? Somebody with a Tupac. Uh, his avatar is a picture of Pac, my favorite rapper. So I'm gonna answer this question. How do you pick up girls at the gym, man? Here's the thing. The same way you pick up girls anywhere. You fucking go for it, man. Look, man. Women are a numbers game. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's all about like the more you try, the more you gotta just keep trying, keep. You gotta always be approaching. Like, here's the thing, like guys, you gotta approach a lot. You know, if you want to have sex with a lot of women, or you want to find the right girl, or for a long-term relationship, whatever your goals may be, find like it's a numbers game, man. Like you'll probably like it's gonna be different for everyone, but you might have to get 20 numbers. All right, you might have to get like 10 numbers to have sex with one girl, right? And you might have to have sex with 8 girls to find one who you want to be in a girl relationship with. You know, like it's a numbers game, man. You need if you're a single guy and this is something you're focused on, you need to be on all the time. So how do you do it? You do it by doing it. Like keep doing it. Like I know you want me to tell you some fucking tips or some secrets, but that's not how it is, man. Like you gotta just go for it. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta go for it. And you gotta go for it consistently, and it's gotta be like if you haven't approached. Here's the thing, man. It's your average is gonna be higher or lower than other guys. Like White Boy Brian. Everywhere we go, women just throw themselves at him. You know what I'm saying? That's how it's always been. That's cool. So I might have to, like, if I was single, I'd have to, like, holler at more girls. I'd have to approach more women than he would, right? He might have a lower average. But his average has nothing to do with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you might have a lower average than me, right? But my average has nothing to do with you. You have to do what works for you. And you need to, that is approaching. Like, yo, if you don't have at least 1,000 approaches under your belt, you don't know shit about talking to women. You don't know shit about it. If you don't have at least 1,000 approaches, like going up to women cold, not fucking girls at school, not motherfucking friends of friends. I mean cold, man. Like on the subway, in the clubs, on the streets, Starbucks. If you don't have 1,000 of those kind of approaches under your belt, you don't know shit about talking to women. You know what I'm saying? Like as far as that's concerned, like most guys just go after the women that are around them or whatever. Yo, 1,000 approaches, you will be an expert. I promise you, you will be an expert at this. You'll be able to write a fucking book on approaching women. If I was you, I'd get a motherfucking notebook. Like I'm big on keeping track of everything. Y'all know I keep track of everything I eat. I keep track of my sleep. I keep track of every rep. I've kept track of everything I've eaten over the last 5 years, right? I can tell you what I ate on a Tuesday, 2008. You know what I'm saying? On Tuesday, July 5th, 2008, I can find that notebook and tell you what I ate at 2 p.m. that day. But anyway, I keep track of everything. So like you should have a list of all your approaches until you get to 1,000, right? See where you approached her, what kind of girl it is, as far as like ethnicity, size, any way you want to classify them, and where you was approaching, what you did, and that way you'll find out what works for you. Right? You'll find out what works for you. Maybe the gym's not the best place for you to approach women. Maybe you find that it's better for you in coffee shops. Maybe you'll find that it's better for you on the subway. Maybe you find it's better in the club. I found that it wasn't good for me in the club, man. For obvious reasons, the gym was the best place for me. But you gotta find what's the best place for you. I don't want to go on too long on this questions, but yeah, man, yo, get 1,000 approaches, not just women at the gym, everywhere. You know what I'm saying? And then you'll be lucky enough to find, the perfect woman like I did. She's wonderful. And, I don't have to do all that bullshit no more. Yeah, sorry, somebody was spying on me, man. Had a little spy out there, man. Where do I see myself in 5 years from now? From now, my homie get to fit. What up, homie? I see you. Um, I do not disclose my goals with really anybody. You know, like that's something I keep to myself. I just keep it. I keep it. So I have a plan. I have a plan. Like it's not like where do I see myself? I have a fucking a legit plan with it's written out with deadlines for every step. If you don't have a plan, if you whatever your goal is, if you don't have a fucking plan with written out with deadlines for each step, you know, then it's you don't have shit, man. You just have another bullshit idea, you know, and that's listen. Here's the thing. A lot of people don't. That's how you succeed at anything. You have to have a plan, and then you write it out with deadlines for each step. And you did it before, right? You've all done this before. It's called school. You wanted to graduate from college or high school. Your curriculum was planned out for you. Deadlines for each step. It was called semesters, and you kept track of your progress. You know, midterm grades, semester grades, and you were able to, and you either adjusted accordingly if you weren't making progress. You either adjusted it accordingly, then you fixed whatever the problem was. You graduated, or you didn't, and you fucking flunked out, right? But that's how you accomplish anything in life, man. Not just like when you say like the growth of my channel, it's 100% deliberate. It's not an accident. I maybe one day I'll show you the plan. You know what I'm saying? I'll show the plan. It's all planned out, and I'm ahead of schedule. But thank you. I mean, I don't know. I forgot what the question was, but yeah, man. 5 years from now, who knows? What's your opinion on overhead press? I think it's the best exercise for shoulders. Standing overhead press, because if you do it standing as opposed to sitting, see when you do it standing, your core has to work more. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of pro bodybuilders don't even work abs until it's contest time, right? Because the compound exercises keeping them stable. That's works your abs enough. They get enough from that. You ever run into a YouTube hater in person? Nah, man. Everybody I always meet, that's why everybody I meet is love. That's why I always like people calling me a fag or a nigger or a bitch or I'm stupid. No one ever just comes up to me in the streets and say, yeah, I saw a YouTube video, stupid. You're a fucking moron. You're a dumb nigger. You should stop making videos. Nobody should listen to this guy. Hey, nobody should listen to this guy. He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. You know, that never happens in person. I mean, everybody I meet in person, I usually get along with everybody. Like, I never, you know. Why is Pac my favorite rapper? Yo, man, why isn't he everyone's favorite rapper is a better question. Pac made so much, he wasn't like the best skilled lyricist, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think the best lyricist, like, just as far as putting words together, was Eminem. You know, is Eminem, right? And, but Pac, like, made so much music that was, like, important, you know, like, and at a young age, man, he was just so insightful, so cognizant of what was going on in the world. You know, like he made songs that were important, songs that meant something. You know, at least to me. You know, and it wasn't just all. I mean, he rapped about how cool he was. He rapped about shooting motherfuckers, right? Whatever. But he never. But he also rapped about shit that was important. You know, teenage pregnancies. You know, respecting women. Respecting women in our communities. You know, saying struggles. Just he rapped about so many things that were just important issues, and I just feel like we lack that. You know, that's lacking in hip hop, in my opinion. Especially now, man. Now it's just about saying bitches and bottles, but who gives a fuck? How much time did it take you to get do the handstand for over 20 seconds? Listen, man, it took me a few months to get it. You know, like honestly, working on a handstand. Attempts. It's all about attempts. That's probably going to end up being the theme of this podcast. It's attempts, man. I used to go against this fucking wall behind me. Like I'm in my bedroom right now, man. I'm only showing y'all half of it because the other side, that's where the magic happens. And but this is the closets. Wifey has two closets right here. This is one. You can only see one. Whatever. It's two closets. And I used to wake up every day and I would do 20 handstand attempts, just see how long I could hold it, even if it was only for a second, or even if I couldn't hold it. I did it 20 times, and I just marked 20 attempts a day. 20 attempts a day. Like every time somebody asks me how to do handstands or handstand push-ups, like you gotta fall like 1,000 times, man. You gotta fall about 1,000 times, and you'll still probably fall once you get it. The more you talk to girls, the easier it gets. Yo, the more you talk, the more you do anything, the easier it gets. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta learn to do shit, man. Like in the book, in Tony Robbins' book, Waking the Power Within. I know it sounds corny, man, but that's a fucking powerful book. I read it when I was 17. It changed everything for me. Right? He was talking about somebody asked. This goes back to a lot of questions I'm gonna have today, right? He said people would always ask him how long how long will it take them to do something. I know a lot of you are gonna ask that today. And the question is like, how long do you want to fucking take? How long do you want it to take? You know what I'm saying? Real talk. How long do you want it to take? It's like he said that, for example, he said that he was trying to learn how to become a good speaker, public speaker. So like most public speakers would book themselves, 2-3 times a month, for speaking engagements. He said because he wanted to get good fast, he would book himself for like 5-6 speaking engagements a day, and he did that for months. So like in 1 month or just a few months, he got like a decade worth of experience. You know what I'm saying? That makes any sense. So the same thing with like women. If you want to get better at talking to women, you can get fucking great in like 2 months, 2-3 months. Just approach every day, man. Do 5 approaches a day. I remember once when I was like fucking 17, 18, I did like 5 approaches a day. Cold. Chicks I ain't even know. And I got good at that shit. I got dissed sometimes. I got laughed at sometimes. But, I was pimping though. You heard me? Should I get brown rice? No, I'm not even gonna read the rest of your question. No, no. Oh, you're a vegetarian. All right. Listen, I'm not a good person to ask about the vegetarian lifestyle as a whole. I'm fiercely carnivorous. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm not the person to help you. Headache while lifting. It could be a number of things. It could be a number of things. You could have had. You could have strained too much. Maybe you weren't breathing, and you blocked airflow. You blocked oxygen to the brain. Sometimes that can give you a headache. Or maybe too much blood with your brain. You gotta make sure you breathe good, man. Like I know a dude who was lifting real heavy. He had an aneurysm. You know what I'm saying? And he had aneurysm, and he was paralyzed for after that. So, be careful, man. Breathe. Do I usually read books in the day or night or when I go to sleep? I try to read for an hour a day. Is best for. I find it best that I get it done before noon. Um, in New York, like when I used to, I don't leave Queens that much anymore. You know what I'm saying? But I used to like be all around the city all the time. Different jobs, different work, and I would just keep a book in my bag or keep my Kindle on me, and I would just read on the train, man. You get so much, like, yo, you just turn the train into a classroom, man. It's dope. So if you're in New York, that's one way. If you don't, I lived in Atlanta for a brief period of time, and I would like listen to audiobooks while I drove around. So it was like a way to get like, I'll just turn my car in the classroom, man. You always want to be learning. You always want to be learning because it's not just don't read fiction. Don't read the fucking Vampire Diaries or whatever the fuck whatever the fuck these chicks be reading. Let the chicks read novels, man. You need to be reading stuff that's gonna make you a better person. It's gonna improve your life. Don't waste time, Don't read a fucking novel. You need to read like nonfiction, man. Like you might as well just watch a movie, if you're gonna read fiction, How old you started to work out? I was 16, man. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing for like the first 5 years. Then I found a mentor who guided me in the right direction. Then I started reading a lot of books on the subject. Then I started training other people, and then just slowly you keep over time you just accumulate enough knowledge where you're confident in your abilities, and you start making progress, and you start making progress for others. Yo, do we lose muscle Ramadan while fasting? It depends, man. Like, it depends. It really depends on your caloric intake, man. Like you can fucking I mean, you can potentially gain muscle like during Ramadan. Like I ain't never been a Muslim. Full disclosure, I'm not a Muslim. I'm not part of any religion. I respect everyone's right to believe whatever they want. But I never like did Ramadan style fasting. But like a lot of the tests on intermittent fasting, the initial tests were done with Muslims, right? Because they were the only people who were deliberately starving themselves through the day for like an extended period of time. So like it can be done, man. Like it can be done. If I was you, all right. Here's how I would do it. Like I have a video on it. I talked to my man who's a Muslim, and he interviewed. But let's just say I was fasting for Ramadan, or fasting for a month, like Ramadan style. No, what I would probably do is I would like eat my first meal would be light, whenever I'm allowed to eat, and I would drink some water, make sure I got some water. Then I would work out right after that first meal, like maybe 30 minutes after that first meal, and then that second meal. I mean, then like during the feeding period, I would just try to get a surplus calories. You can actually gain muscles if you do it that way, It's probably easier to try to cut though during Ramadan. I'd be headaches during lifting. Yo man, you should breathe better, man. It's probably your breathing. I mean, I can't really answer that unless I saw you lift weights and I see what you're doing wrong. It's probably a lot of. I mean, I would imagine it's a lot of making that face, right? You're probably doing a lot of that, And I believe like a good thing to do when you're lifting in general is to like make it like a calm face. Like all that energy in your face, like that's extra energy that you're spending. Like it's not helping you lift. You're just making energy. You're not in control of control your fucking self, man. Control your facial expressions. Don't yell like those. Don't do that. Don't do that. Like control yourself, man. You should be able to control your facial expressions. You should be able to control your breathing. You definitely should be able to control the fucking sounds that are coming out of your face, right? Control yourself. And then here's the thing. It's like if any of you study neuro-linguistic programming, if you keep a calm, like motion creates emotion, right? So if you stay calm while you're lifting, you subconsciously tell your mind, yo, I got this shit. I got this shit. It's nothing. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna be able to lift this. But if you're doing it, making noise, see that guy fucking screaming across the gym, making funny faces and yelling, you're telling your mind subconsciously, yo, this is hard. This is hard. I don't know if I can handle it. I can't. I don't know if I can handle the weight. I can't even control the sounds I'm making. I can't. I can't control my own breathing. Yo, man, be in control. Be in control. Don't ever let yourself become out of control. That's just general rule as a man. You want to be in control of yourself. That's the only thing you really have control over in the world. You don't control your circumstances. You don't control what other people do. But you always have control over yourself. And it starts with your physiology, how you hold yourself. Like if something happens to you sad, you don't have to act sad about it. I don't know. I don't want to get into that. Y'all gonna be mad at me for spending too much time on that question. But control yourself, man. That's part of being a man. You're probably just not breathing right. Post workout snacks. Watch my video on All right, fuck. I'll just answer the question. I like to get it depends. It depends on what you're doing. It depends on what kind of protocol you're following, right? But lately, what I've been working around 6, 7 later afternoon. And I'll have like a protein shake, I'll probably take T-Rex as a pre-workout. You can take whatever pre-workout you want. Some coconut oils, But an MCT, medium chain triglycerides, they help you give you energy, fast digesting fat. And that's usually my pre-workout, you know, like maybe 30, 40 minutes before I start working out. And then post-workout, man, I mean, it really depends on the protocol you're using. Are you trying to burn fat? Are you trying to lose weight? Are you trying to build muscle? Like, what are you trying to do? But for me, you know, I'm in a muscle building phase. So, like, I probably eat anything, man. Like, in the video I posted yesterday, man, I ate I had a protein shake and ate a whole thing of Haagen-Dazs ice cream, right? Because I wanted to spike my insulin levels. You want to spike it. Basically, after workouts, you need carbs, mostly simple carbs, right? You probably need high calories and you need a lot of protein. That's a simple way to answer it. I'm trying to get through these questions quick. Yo, do you get annoyed answering the same shit on Q&As? Nah, man, this has been my life for the last 10 years. Like, this is everywhere I go. I went to fucking Best Buy to buy this computer, this other computer, this Chromebook. Yo, this is dope. It's good. It's good to have Chrome. I have fucking 4 computers. This is my lesson, but I like it because it's light. It's lightweight and it's fast as fuck. It's just but anyway, I went to buy that shit, and guys in the line, like the fucking guy at Best Buy, like, hey man, so what do you eat? What do you eat? You know, this is like everywhere I go, man. Motherfuckers stop me on the train. Like, I've grown accustomed to this, you know, and or to a certain degree, I've set myself up for it, you know, with my career endeavors. Yo, I'm focused strictly on compound exercises. Will I get results faster? If by results you mean gaining muscles, then yes, man. There's nothing better for gaining muscles than compound movements, man. I honestly don't really do isolation movements. I haven't done them for years. Once I started doing only compound lifts, full body workouts, 3 days a week, 3 or 4 days a week, full body. Pick 1 or 2 compound movements for each body part. Do that 2 or 3 times a week. Do that 3 or 4 times a week, right? Fuck a split, right? Cause splits, you gotta understand, man. Back in the day, man, guys did full body workouts. Like before, like the steroid era in bodybuilding, those natural guys, they were fucking doing full body workouts. It wasn't until steroids came along where guys started doing splits, right? Because here's the thing: when you do a split, you can punish the muscle more, right? If you do a full body workout, you're not killing one muscle to the point where you can't work it again in 48 hours, right? It's like, but if you're doing a split, you might like just fucking hit your chest so hard you can't work it again until next week, you know? And that works better if you're on roids, right? But like if you're natural, full body workout, that's the best way to go, man. That's the best way to go. Best multivitamin, motherfucker. What is your name? How do you say that? It's an interesting name you have. Best. I don't want to say best because like I don't want to use a quantitative term. I don't want to use I don't want to present my bias as if it's fact, right? So my favorite, I like Animal Stat. If you go to highlifeworkout.com, there's a section where I put all the supplements that I currently use, and I have Animal Stat is the one I think is my favorite. I don't want to say best because like that's opinion. You know, there's no way to really quantify that. Batman, Batman. I was 16 when I started working out, bro. You already went into that. But maybe you're just joining us, man. In that case, welcome. I'm glad to have you, man. How often do you squat and how many times each set? Man, like I do full body workouts, so like there's probably a squat or a deadlift kind of movement in there. A lot of people say, so I like the deadlift more than I like the squat, honestly. Personally, I think the deadlift is the king of all exercise. Some people think it's just a back exercise, but it's definitely a leg exercise, especially depending on how deep you go. You bend, like it's both. And I just think it's more practical, it's more functional to learn how to picking something off on the ground instead of pressing something with your legs, right? It's just more practical usage in the deadlift. It translates more things that you might do in real life, I mean, how many times in real life are you gonna put something on your shoulders and press it up, right? Like, I'm not trying to diss the squat. It's good exercise. What I'm saying is like deadlift. You always gonna have to pick shit up and put it down for the rest of your life. You know. I guess I didn't answer your question. I don't know, 2, 3 times a week, right? I usually deadlift more, and then I do probably like rep ranges between 6 and 8, 4 sets. Resting 90 seconds between each set. That's important. If you're not resting between, if you're not timing your rest in between your sets, you just I don't know what the fuck you're doing. You don't know what the fuck you're doing. You're fucking up. That's what you're doing. Nah, I'm not about to freestyle right now. Sorry, bro. Compound raps. Compound raps, son. Is green beans good or a low carb diet? I guess it's probably good. I'm sure. Sure it's fine. I'm sure it's fine. I mean, I might be wrong. I haven't looked at a green bean package. I don't know when the last time I had a fucking green bean. You know. Yo, man, you're right. If everybody just put the question down. I mean, honestly, I don't see what's happening, right? Like, I only like, yeah, man. Does creatine build muscle or strength? Both. That's the only thing it does. Do you think behind the neck press, upright rows, dangerous? Depends on the person. It depends on the person. You know, if you have any predispositions to any injuries, you know, it depends on your person. Like, I can do upright rows and I'm fine. You know what I'm saying? Some people do. Nah, man, ice cream is not a dirty bulk. It's like, I mean, it would be part of the dirty bulk, right? But like, me, it's just like after that workout, I wanted to get a lot of fucking carbs and spike my insulin, like just one part of the day. Like people do dirty bulks, they fucking spike. They're eating big like that all day. I only eat after one meal. So like these people, their insulin is spiked all day. And the reason that's bad to spike your insulin all day because it makes you insulin resistant, right? And when you're insulin resistant, your cells don't know what to do with the glycogen. They don't allocate the resources as well, so it's harder to burn. So instead of maybe like using it for like to build muscle or for energy, the glycogen, it'll say, you know what, let's just store this glycogen for later as fat. That's why you don't want to keep your insulin spiked all day. Sorry, man. Let me hit refresh. I'm trying to answer the questions quicker. Last time I looked at my last one and I was spending just way too much time on each question. The steroid stunt growth height. It does a lot worse. It does that. It also does a lot of other things. You know what I'm saying? Like that are detrimental. You know, one being most importantly, it shrinks your genitals. All right. I mean, there's nothing worth. No amount of muscle is worth deliberately putting your genitalia in harm's way, man. It's just like the fact that you're even considering it, man. Like, don't do it, man. Like, you don't need to. You don't. How big do you want to get, man? Like, how fucking big do you want to be, man? You want to fight an X-Man? You're not gonna fight an X-Man. You're not gonna get in a fight with Batman. You know what I'm saying? Like, how big do you want to be, man? Like, girls don't even like guys that big, man. Like, just get fit, get big, but like don't get freakishly stupid big. You know what I'm saying? Like you need steroids to get freakishly stupid big. You don't need to be fit and in shape with like good arms. You know what I'm saying? Like here's the thing: if I thought you can do it with impunity, I might have already tried it already. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think that you can do it with. Some people probably get away with it without any health effects, right? But a lot of people get fucked up off that, man. I have a friend who did it. He's big. He got big as fuck. But he told me even after he got off of it, he still gets like pimples all over his chest and all that shit. Like right here, he'll be wearing a tank top and he'll have fucking pimples like all over here. And this is like way after he got off it. You know, it's like his hormones are just thrown out of whack. Um, Arnold Schwarzenegger, man, he had to get fucking in the 90s. He got heart surgery. Why would Arnold Schwarzenegger, the man who was in charge of the president's youth program, youth health and fitness program, visually the pinnacle of health. Why do you think he had to get heart surgery, man? Because it's fucking bad for your organs. The heart is a muscle, right? So yeah, your muscles, your biceps are gonna get bigger, but your fucking heart is gonna get bigger too, and it's gonna be a lot of issues. What book got you into reading? Probably Awaken the Giant Within was the first one. Then I read. That just let me know, like I just felt like, oh man, I can accomplish more than maybe I thought. Then I read. It was a mistake. Like if you're in college, don't read this book, right? Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. And that shit, I wanted to fucking put this shit down and drop out of school that day, but I didn't, you know. And then it's just like once you start, man, it's like open up, like you like people who don't read. I almost feel sorry for them. People who don't read consistently. I try to read at least one book every week, and I've been doing that for years. And people who don't read consistently, nonfiction, I feel like sorry for them because they have no idea how much they don't know, right? They don't even know what they don't know. You know what I'm saying? He's like, you remember me, the high school kid, or it's a kid who's like 15, a 15-year-old kid, he's cocky, and he thinks he fucking knows everything. He doesn't even know how much he doesn't know, you know? That's how I feel about people. I'm not about to rap right now. I'm not about to freestyle right now, man. Man, we gotta answer these questions. What are my macros right now? All right, here's the thing. I know I talked about the portion size method in other videos and even in my book. I'm trying something different right now. It's an experiment. So like I have been keeping meticulous track of everything I eat. I've been keeping every calorie, everything. I weigh, and the only way you can really count calories, like I said before, is to fucking weigh out all your food, measure shit. I got scale and measure. I can't. I'm not even like living like a normal person. I wouldn't even suggest anyone do this. I have to weigh everything. I can't eat. Like my girl's about to order something, and I was like, "Fuck, I can't just eat. I just can't eat this shit because what am I? I'm gonna take out. There's like some pasta with beef in it. She wanted to order, and like I would have to really take out every piece of beef out of this pasta, weigh it, then weigh the pasta, and then call these motherfuckers up to ask them what they cooked the pasta. It's like, yo, I have to prepare everything. I've been preparing everything myself, right? You'll see it in like the video. So like basically to answer your question, so that's the only way you can really count calories. Like most people who say they count calories are full of shit. You know, I try to get over 200 grams of protein, and I've been trying to get over 4,000 calories every day. Not trying, doing. Don't try to do it. What's your opinion of BioGo? I don't know what that is, bro. Tips on building self-esteem and confidence. That's a good question. Here's what you do. I mean, weight training would really help. That everybody I've seen, like who's like insecure, like when they start weight training, they build a lot of confidence, man. Like you can see they turn into different people once they dedicate themselves to it, you know. And it's not necessarily because of the physical changes that they undergo, but it's more so. It has a lot more to do with the fact that they accomplish something every day. They set a goal out, and they're doing it. They say every day they wake up and say, "Yo, I'm gonna work out. I'm gonna eat right." And by doing that every day, they accomplish what they set out to accomplish. So it's like that's what builds confidence in yourself. You can trust yourself. You say, "Hey, I'm gonna do this," and then you do it. That builds a tremendous amount of confidence when you can depend on yourself. When you have enough personal integrity that you know that you're reliable. You can rely on yourself, right? It's like when kids have confidence in their parents, right? They're like, parents are like God to them when you're real little. And that's because you can depend on your parents, right? They'll be there. You know they'll be there. You have confidence in their ability to feed you. I mean, for the most part, right? It's the same thing for you. You can have that same amount of confidence in yourself that a kid has in his parents if you continually show yourself that you're able to, that you're dependable, that you can depend on yourself. You know what I'm saying? As you get older, you find out that your parents are just people. They make mistakes and they fuck up, right? But you can have that kind of confidence, that confidence that a kid has in his parents is because he trusts them. He trusts them and he believes in them. And you can have that same kind of confidence yourself by setting, like, just, here's the thing, just set out, like, little things that you're going to do every day. Like, make a list of things you want to do. About 3 or 4 things that you want to do every day. And then do those things. And after, like, a month, man, you'll believe in yourself so much, right? You'll just believe in it. You'll trust yourself, you know? Another thing is, like, how you hold yourself, man. Motion creates emotion. So you, like, want to, like, if you're, like, you'll feel meek if you act that way. But if you act confident, not faking it, but, like, just hold yourself. Just be conscious of the way that you project yourself, the way you hold your body. The way you hold your body affects your brain. Like, what does Elliot say? Your body's your brain. Well, he's not just talking crazy. He does not just talk as crazy as he sounds. No, I'm just kidding. That's my man. That's a big homie. Hope we're supposed to hang out when he comes to New York next month. But anyway, what the fuck was I saying? Oh yeah. It really is, like, the way, like, when you smile, your emotions, your brain chemistry changes. Like, if we hooked you up with one of those machines, one of those neural machines to measure your brain activity, smiling actually affects a region of the brain that controls happiness, right? So your emotion can affect your emotion. Same thing I was saying earlier about when you're lifting. If you're lifting, like, God, I got this shit. You know what I'm saying? Put yourself in that state, and you'll perform better, right? Like, you ever see when LeBron's, like, locked in, or like Kobe, and he's like, they just go off and they have crazy. Look at their mannerisms. It's like, and look at how they look in their eyes, how they hold their facial expressions, how they hold themselves. They believe in themselves and they're focused. They're locked in. You can create the emotion. You can use your body to create the emotions that you want to have. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not, your physiology doesn't come from your emotional state. It can, but it can also be reversed. Your emotional state can come from your physiology. You know what I'm saying? Like, LeBron, when he's locked in and he's scoring 60, he's not. He's not acting like a bitch. He's acting like he fucking got this shit. I mean, he's got the, that's the same. Yeah, that's the same thing I was saying about living. You're screaming, and, ah! It's not as easy as confident. So hold yourself. Like, practice being confident. Practice being confident. How does a confident person stand? Watch a James Bond movie, man. Mirror his mannerisms, or anybody who you think is confident. Michael Jordan, James Bond, Jay-Z, like, these are confident people. Watch how they hold themselves. You start holding yourself that same way, like, mirror their physiology. Me. Me. Michael Jordan, Jigga, Brandon Carter. Is Justin Bieber natty or nah, man? He's definitely on something. I don't feel like reading your question, Ralph, but it depends on your parameters. You need to find a program. Don't just go in the gym doing random shit, man. Find a program. How much muscle can you build in a year? I don't know how much muscle you can build in a year, because you may be more or less. You might have a higher genetic predisposition for gaining muscle mass than I do, right? Or less, right? Maybe I'm predisposed to gaining muscle easier than you are. Who the fuck knows? I would say just go for a pound a month, man. Don't try to fucking rush it. Don't be like, yo, I'm gonna gain fucking 20 pounds of fucking lean, rock hard muscle this month, right? Like, that's not reality. A pound a month, good for a natural dude. I have a video on how I gained 10 pounds last year, and it was slow, man. Like, one month to the last, it looked like nothing. Like, a pound is not really, visually, it's not that impressive, 1 pound. But over a year, fucking 10 pounds. I mean, I gained less than a pound a month. So a pound, anywhere from like a pound or a half a pound a month is good, man. I think it's good. I don't think you should try to rush it. How can I get easy source of protein besides shakes? I don't want to get big. That's why I don't want protein shakes. Here's the thing, man. Protein shakes don't just make you big. Eating protein doesn't just make you big. It's like you have to follow. If you want to get big, you have to follow certain parameters. You know, you're not like you don't have to worry about accidentally getting big muscles. You know what I'm saying? Protein shakes or bars are the easiest, most convenient way to get protein. And if I tried to tell you anything else, I'd be being disingenuous. Is it okay to eat a lot of fruits in a day, or is it too much sugar? And it depends on what your goals are. You know, it depends on what your goals, what you're trying to accomplish, what kind of parameters you're on. I mean, maybe it's good for some people, maybe it's good for not. It's like depends on what you. I had to know more about. Is Cali Muscle natural? You have to ask Cali, man. You have to ask Cali. What does Cali say? I don't know. I don't know him like that. How tall are you? I'm 6'2". Favorite thing to eat on cheat day? What's that shit, man? That shit. Man, I've been eating this shit for a long time. What's it called? Oh yeah, pussy. It's my favorite. Make a full cheat day video. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that. Full cheat day video. That's another dude's question. I really like pizza. Pizza is like my favorite food. You know what I'm saying? Confidence is trusting yourself. Bricks blog says that's true. That's all it is, man. So like, if you can set goals for yourself, say you're gonna do things, and then do it, like yo, you'll start to gain confidence in yourself. Yo, BBC, will my calves ever grow? Yeah, man. Yeah, yeah. You want to try? Maybe try higher reps. Time to rest in between your sets. Are you timing the rest in between your sets? Like, break, take it down to like 60 seconds. 60 seconds. Train them more often. What's your views on CLA on the weight loss supplement? I'm never taking it, man. I've never taken it, you know. So maybe it's good. You know, I don't have a lot of experience with it. You're right, Joseph. Diet is fucking important. Yo, Brian, what do you think about LeBron coming back to the Cavs? I think it's a good story. You know what I'm saying? I think it's a good story. It's good for Cleveland, like not just like the Cavaliers, but the Cleveland economy. You know what's shocking to me? Like, I never thought he would go back though. Like, because you remember the letter that the owner wrote, the open letter, the letter, all that shit he was saying about LeBron. He was saying some mean shit to him. I would never, I could never see myself working for that dude again. But LeBron James is probably just a little bit more mature than me. You know what I'm saying? I still have some growing up to do, even though I'm older than LeBron. He's probably a little more mature than me. In fact, I know he is. Because if you would have gave me $100 million at 18, like Nike gave him, there's no way I would still be alive. I would have killed. I'd be dead, and a lot of people would have went with me. Matter of fact, maybe the whole city of Chicago. Like, if you would have gave me a fucking $100 million, like, yo, I would have ruined the city of Chicago with that shit and killed myself and a lot of other people probably. You know, I don't know how. I just know that that's the likely outcome of that. And me at 18, I was a motherfucking menace. How do you not care what people think of you? Well, Gabriel, uh, okay, it's knowing who you are. Knowing who you are, really. So, like, when you know who you are and you believe and you have trust in who you are, you know the kind of person you really are, and people's opinion becomes less and less irrelevant. You know what I'm saying? I noticed this in my life, and like other people told me this as well. It's like it's like right now, like if somebody said, hey man, you know Brandon Carter, man, he's a motherfucking Asian woman. And I'd be like, well, I mean, there's nothing wrong with being an Asian woman, right? But like, I wouldn't be like, I would just be like, I mean, I know that I'm a mulatto man. You know what I'm saying? like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it wouldn't mean almost nothing to me. Like somebody called me an Asian woman, right? Because I know the fact, I know that I'm just not an Asian woman. You know what I'm saying? And it would just be like, I would just kind of look at them like, you crazy motherfucker, man. You crazy. You know? It's like, but if you're unsure about yourself, if you're unsure about your race or gender, and someone calls you an Asian woman, you might be like something inside you might say, am I Asian woman? You know, so like when someone calls me a bitch, I'm like, well, you know, I disagree with you, sir. I disagree with you. I don't think you know enough about me to judge to make a fair assessment. You know, so like you just when you know who you are, the opinions of others don't matter as much. You know, they just don't matter as much. Like there was a rumor going around. Remember that? It was funny. It was funny. It was some fucking like stripper was using my pictures, like some of my old model pictures, and he was like to get gigs. He was catfishing. He was he was catfishing people, right? But I guess like I found out about it because like some girls were asking some girl I knew she was getting married. She said, "Hey Brandon, could you dance at our bachelorette party?" I'm like, "Yo, I'm not a fucking. I don't even dance in the club." And they were like, "No, but blah blah blah." And then I found out to this day, these chicks still believe I'm a stripper. You know what I'm saying? I'm a male stripper, and I run around doing that shit, right? But whatever. I don't really give a fuck, right? Because I know who I am. You know what I'm saying? Or like, I was training this dude a while ago, and he's gay dude. He was early in the morning. I was training him, right? But he was a cool dude, man. He was funny as fuck, and we got along real well, right? And we were in the gym, we trained, we would get along, and we would like laugh so much, like crazy laughter, right? First thing in the morning, and I just knew everybody in that gym just had to assume that I was a practicing homosexual, right? But you know, well, first of all, I don't think there's anything wrong with somebody being gay, right? But second of all, it didn't matter if they thought that, right? Because I know who I am, you know what I'm saying? I know I have sex with my wife every night, you know, I'm married to a woman, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's nothing, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not really something that I fucking, the opinions of others, other people's opinion of you is none of your business. You know, you gotta be fucking sure about who you are as a person. You know? Top ramen for bulking, anything for bulking, man. Calories for bulking. You know, just being a caloric surplus. Top ramen, Twinkies, I don't give a fuck. Just being a caloric surplus and make sure you get a lot of protein. Somebody writes, Big Brandon Carter, that escort stripper. Hey man, I'm not saying I wouldn't if the money wasn't right. You know, everybody's got a price. Everybody's got a price. Funniest thing I ever seen in the gym. All right, my homie Mike. Mike, we were doing, he was doing side raises. You know, first of all, he was skinny. He shouldn't have been doing isolation movements. You know, but anyway, he was doing side raises, and he came down, bam, crashed his motherfucking dick in the with the 30s, or they maybe 25, whatever. And this motherfucker curled up in the fetal position, man, for like 15 minutes, man. People were like, should we call the ambulance? And he was like, and you just stood there, tear was running down his face, man. And I laughed. I couldn't even finish my workout. I couldn't finish my workout. It was over. Yeah, sometimes I have followed a powerlifting program. You know, the good parameters. I like, if you ever check out the book 531, good book. And so there's a good parameters laid out. The only thing is, I don't think it's enough volume. I don't think it's enough volume. Like, so sometimes, sometimes what I'll do now is I'll do the same, full body workouts, just just higher weights, reps between, excuse me, between 2 and 4, right? And rest 3 minutes between each set. That's basically good powerlifting parameters. How can you get sick, man? Yo, almost never. Almost never. I've been sick like fucking 4 times in the last 10 years, you know? Um, if you take care of yourself, if you get enough sleep, you know what I'm saying? It's like, not getting sleep is hard on your immune system. So I get like 8, 9 hours of sleep every night. So like, that's great for your immune system. That's when your body repairs itself. It's good for a lot of cells. It's good. It's also good for a lot of brain functions, like the production of serotonin and dopamine and testosterone. You'll actually be a happier person if you sleep more. That's why people, team no sleep. I'll sleep when I'm dead. I'm like, yo, man, no, you'll be dead because you don't sleep. I don't know if I answered your question. Almost never. I want to start with calisthenics. How do I suggest that? When you say calisthenics, do you mean just like push-ups, pull-ups, or do you mean you want to start doing the tricks and shit? If you want to start doing push-ups, pull-ups, do that shit right now. You know what I'm saying? If you want to start doing like the tricks and shit, watch some tutorials, get out there and try them. That's you just do it by doing. Like most things, man, you learn by doing. It's like not too much you can read. I mean, you can read about it. It's a good book on bodyweight training. The best book I've ever read on bodyweight training is Overcoming Gravity by someone's name I forget. Overcoming Gravity. That's the best book I read about it until I write the book on it. Oh, hey, I just let the cat out of the bag. I just let the cat out of the bag. It's coming. That's down the line. I have to write the abs book first, and then I have to write another book before that. How do you get rid of forearm splints? Yo, man, I'm not qualified to give medical advice. You should really see a professional. I had shin splints real bad once, and I did not go on the internet asking motherfuckers I didn't know in real life for advice. What I did was I went to a professional. They told me it was worse than I thought. I actually had it wasn't just shin splints. It was a fucking fracture in my shin. It was shin splints and a fracture in my splint, right? Shin. So like I was on crutches for a while, but if I would have just like asked motherfuckers I didn't know, like, for advice, who knows? They wouldn't have said, oh, yeah, that's a fracture in your shin. Yeah. Oh, what you got there? Shin fracture. That's what you got. You'll be fine. Like, who knows what they would have said? You got to go seek for a professional. Brandon, what's the first food you can eat, best food you can eat for a workout? Um, um, Eat before and after work? I think I answered that question before, but I can't really answer that question unless I know what your goals are. Unless I know what your goals are, I can't answer that question. I'd love to, but I can't, bro. You can give me enough information. Help me help you, man. Give me the information I need. Yeah, do I ever lack motivation to go to the gym, and how do I deal with it? Yes. Ever since I started training in the afternoon, man, it's been happening a lot. Like when I used to train first thing in the morning, it was never an issue. But like now that I track afternoon, it's been motivational issue because that's when my girl gets home and I just want to watch TV and have sex, but I gotta go to the gym or work out. Or work out at home, and it's like that's the most important time to do it because when you train yourself, because here's the thing, discipline is doing what you're supposed to do whether you feel like it or not. That's discipline. That is the definition of discipline. All right, and discipline is the key to success in any endeavor, in all areas of life. Discipline is the key. So like when you don't want to do it and you do something you're supposed to do and you do it anyway, you build more discipline. Now that's more that doing it, the fact that you did it when you didn't want to is more important than the workout at that point because now you build discipline. You strengthen the amount of discipline you have. That's the most important. So keep that in mind. When you don't do it, When you give up, when you act like a little bitch, you train yourself to be a little bitch. So next time you don't feel like doing something, or the next time something's hard, you know what I'm saying, it's going to be easier for you to quit. Once you, listen, somebody told me this a long time ago, and it always stuck with me, man. Once you start to quit, it becomes easier to quit. Once you start to quit, it becomes easier to quit. You don't want to build that habit of being a motherfucking quitter, man. I wasn't trying to degrade you when I was doing all that shit. I was just whatever. I love you, bro. I love everybody, man. What's your skincare routine right now? I have the first pimple of the year right now. I have not had a pimple all year. Right here. And I don't know what that's from. But for the most part, I just drink a lot of water. I drink green tea. I just drink like 2 gallons of water. My skincare regimen, 2 gallons of water a day. Keep your, you know what I'm saying? 2 gallons of water a day. That's it, man. How old do you need to be to use protein? This question bothers me so much, man. But I'll answer it because I know you don't know. Whey protein is a byproduct of the cheese manufacturing process. Whey protein has existed as long as cheese has existed. It's made from dairy, all right? It is one of the #1. I'll show you how old you have to be. Infant. An infant. How do I know this? Because it's one of the main ingredients in baby food. Gerber distributes way more whey protein than Muscle Tech ever will. Gerber, the baby food company, they distribute more whey protein than any bodybuilding company. You know what I'm saying? It's like I have a friend. His breast milk is better for babies, obviously for different reasons. But I have a friend. He's fucking almost 40 now. His mother died when he giving birth to him, so she was never able to breastfeed him. He was on formula from day one, meaning he was drinking whey protein from day one. He's been drinking whey protein for 30 years. It's fine. It's about, people say, oh, it's not natural. It's about as natural as cheese is, you know. Like, we're fucking playing semantics with this term natural, you know. If whey protein is natural, then cheese is natural. They're made the same exact way. Do I piss all the time drinking all that water? No. No. And even if I did, it wouldn't be a big deal, man. Pissing, I don't have no problem pissing. I piss when it's time to piss, I piss, man. It's not something I really think about. I don't give that much thought to it, you know what I'm talking about. Hey, man. Kid says, hey, BBC. 16, man. Working out for a year and 8 months. A little over a year and a half. Only body weight, though. I'm thinking of starting a 6-month gym membership and in order to lift some weights. What do you think? Yo, man, I'm happy for you. Lift weights, man. I think every lift weights, man. Lift weights. You should be lifting weights. You should be lifting weights. And it's not bad for you, 16. It's not going to stunt your growth. There's no evidence. That's the epitome of bro science, is lifting weights will stunt your growth. That is probably the first piece of bro science ever. There's no evidence. There's only evidence to the contrary. In fact, there's been studies, and there's studies that have debunked that misnomer years ago, decades ago. That's why your high school has a gym with weights in it, so you can fucking lift it. Hey, BC, do you have time to go out with friends? How do you manage your time? I mean, I hang out with some friends. If you watch my Instagram, I hang out sometimes, but like, it's not a. Listen, I like, my goals are more important than anything in this stage of my life, man. I don't want to be 40 years old with just a bunch of fucking funny stories to tell about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have things I have accomplished, and I'm older, right? I'm like an adult. Like, some people are like dependent on me. You know what I'm saying? So like, even like the dude like Team Incredibles, they call me, yo, we about to go to the park. You know what I'm saying? Street workout shit, but they're all fucking kids, like 19, 20. They don't have any like real responsibilities. They live with their parents and shit, right? Like, I'd be like, nah, man, I got shit to do. You know, and it's just like priorities, man. How do you manage your time? Priorities, set priorities, and prioritize. You know, like get the most important thing. What I do is I make a list every day. I make a list of every. I'm big on lists and write shit down. I make a list of everything I want to accomplish that day, and then I put in order the most important. You know, then there's usually like two things I put. I put a star next to it. Those things have to get done no matter what. Even if everything on the list doesn't get done, those two things get done. Day one of those things was Q&A, live Q&A. Man, you were my most important task today. Biceps and triceps together to build arms, or do them with chest and back. I mean, you can do it a push. You can do any kind of split you want. I don't recommend you do a split at all. I think you should do full body workouts. I think you should do 4 a week, 3 or 4 full body workouts a week. Personally, I think work the triceps and biceps at the end of that workout. I mean, that's what I would do, man. That's my. I think everyone should be doing that, man. Everybody's trying to get bigger. Can't do squats. What can I do instead? You can do leg press. You can do. I mean, I'm not a big on machines, but if you can't do squats, I don't know what your problem is. Can you deadlift? You know, can you do lunges? I don't know what. Why can't you do squats? Hey, BBC, what are the best meals to get ripped? That is too broad of a question. That is a lot easier for you to ask that question than it's going to be for me to answer it. It's too broad. It's too broad. Like, you know, I have to. Man, I can't give an easy answer to that. It's not even about what. You know what? It's not about meals. It's not about food. It's about, you know, being in a caloric surplus. If you burn more calories than you consume, you're gonna lose weight. I mean, there's more to it than just that, but that you have to get that down first, right? Then you start thinking about, you know, your insulin levels, how to manipulate them. You can start thinking about other things that can that will expedite the fat burn, accelerate the fat burning process. You know, you should read my book, man. Ultimate Cut: 7 Secrets to Burn Fat as Hell. It's in the description. Hey, man, it's right here in the description. Control. Click it, and so it opens in a new, so it opens in another window, man, and fucking, it's $1, 99 cents, man, best dollar your ass will ever spend. Will you ever do bodybuilding competitions? No, I will never do any kind of competition, right? Because that's just not who I am. Like, I'm not here to compete. You know what I'm saying? I'm a teacher. I take that role seriously. Like, I don't compete in street work. I don't compete in anything. I want to teach. I do not want to compete in anything. Saying, like, I don't want to beat anybody in anything. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to go against anyone, and I don't want to be at odds with anybody in anything. And that's just me. I respect competitors. I love watching sports. I watched the movie on bodybuilding the other day, man. Generation Iron. You know, I might end up going to the Olympia this year. You know, I watched Street the Bar competition. I respect competitors. I love it. But me personally, just who I am, I've cemented my allegiance to teaching. I think that's what I do best, and I think a big important part of success is finding what you do best and focusing on that exclusively, or at least as much as possible, putting as much energy what you do best. So if I started competing in things that would deviate, I would be deviating from my mission of being the best teacher I could be. Maybe that's stupid. And I might change my mind, you know. I might change my mind one day. Fasting year round, intermittent fasting year round. Yo, man, I really like it. I really like intermittent fasting. I was kind of against it when it first got popular, but like now, I've changed. I've changed my tune. Man. Like I like it because here's the thing. A lot of people get headache and tired. They get headaches and things like that when they first go on it. That's because your body has to adapt. Your body has to learn to run on its fat reserves instead of trying to run on glucose, right? And when you do that, you have more energy, man. Like I was reading this doctor who was talking about the ketosis diet, right? And what he was saying was, like, when people run out of energy, like sometimes fat people run out of energy, and he said that's like when you see those big gas trucks going down the street delivering gas with a big compartment of gas on top, they're going to deliver it to a gas station. it's like one of those trucks running out of gas, right? It has all the gas up here, but it can't use it because that gas is not in its tank driving the vehicle, right? That's what it's like when your body is only running on glucose. So when you train your body to run off fat reserves instead of just glucose, now you like you'll always have enough energy because that's what fat is for. You know what I'm saying? Like we evolved to store fat for energy for later during times of starvation. You know, our ancestors were hunter gatherers and they went through famine, starvation, and we developed the ability to store fat for that reason. So when you train yourself to your body, so like intermittent fasting and keeping your insulin levels low helps train your body to run off fat reserves as opposed to just being addicted. It's almost addicted to glucose, right? That's what like so like when you it would really help me because I'm hypoglycemic, right? Or it seems like I don't even feel like I am anymore. Like I used to like go 2-3 hours without eating, I get so weak, my body used up all the glucose, right? But now my body it's not dependent on glucose anymore. So that's why I'm doing intermittent fasting all year round now, just because I feel so much more productive and I just have just a lot more energy, man. I don't know if any of that made sense. I don't know if my tattoos means all right, this tattoo it sucks, right? It was cool when I got it because I was 17 and it like took up my whole arm, but like now my arm is like twice as big. So is you know what? My mom just picked it out. It was a birthday gift. My mom just picked it out. Then a few years later, my mom picked this one out. You know what I'm saying? I just said, "Hey, mom, I want to get another tattoo." She said, "Okay." We went there and she picked it out. So all the only significance they hold is the fact that my mom liked them. So I got them. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the only significance they had. They're like dragging tires means nuts, meaningless. Aside from that, these mean something. I'm not going to tell you what they mean. That's something I keep to myself. I keep a lot of things. You know, I'm gonna keep to myself. When you ever do a posing video, Lord willing, I will never do no shit like that. Chest and back twice a week, too much. Listen, I do chest and back 3-4 times a week. Really, because I don't do splits. Like, I mean, you can do it, whatever, but like, I don't do splits, man. Full body workout. I think that's the way to go if you're natural. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the best way to go to that. What methods are good, accurate for counting calories? Yo, to do it accurately, you have to prepare almost all of your food yourself at home, weigh it out, measure it. Um, yeah, and then you have to if you're not gonna eat at home, you gotta put that shit like the pros, people who win trophies on stage, they fucking cook everything at home. They prepare it on, you know what I'm saying? They weigh everything, they measure everything, they put shit in fucking Tupperware, and they put that shit in coolers, and they fucking walk around the city with that shit. You know, like people who say, "Oh, I'm just gonna add this up," they're full of shit, man. That's the only way you do it. Prepare everything at home, weigh it, and but that's intense. That's fucking intense. And it's like not something I recommend that people do. I'm doing that right now because I'm trying to, because you know I've been training for a long time, and it's like as longer you do it, the harder it is to get results. So I'm just trying my best. I'm just trying to squeeze as much life out of these next few years as I can, see what I can accomplish. But I wouldn't recommend it to other people because it's consuming and it's not an easy way to live life. You know, like you can't go out with your friends and eat. You can't like just eat regular shit. You have to be diligent. Far more diligent than I would recommend the average person even attempt to be. You only really need to do it if you're going to fucking be in any kind of competition or you really just try to take yourself to that level. Like I'm not trying to be in a competition or anything, bodybuilding competition, but I want to be in that on that level. You know what I'm saying? I don't want anyone to be better than me. Yo, Aldux, your question, I don't the way it's worded, like can't understand. Refresh this page. what does a strong body mean? Strong is relative, you know. Strong is relative. Like I saw a fucking girl do a muscle up, and I thought she was fucking strong, right? Because I've only seen like 3 girls in my whole life do a muscle up, you know. It's all relative, you know, depending on like what you compare it to, you know. Like it's just, compared to some people, I'm weak, you know. Compared to other people, I'm fucking super strong. Could you explain your full body program? Sure. Here it goes. Uh, Here's an example of a good day, full body day. Start off with like some lower body squats and or deadlifts. Maybe I'll do both. Let's say I do squats and deadlifts, right? Then I'll do shoulders. No. Then I'll do like I would do like some bench press, but I would do incline bench press. You can do any kind of bench press and bent over rolls. You superset those. Do those together. Then maybe do dips and chin ups. Superset those two. Then do overhead press. Then do curls and extension and tricep extensions. No, you know what? Curls and closed grip bench. That's my favorite tricep exercise. And superset those, and bam, then you done. And you're done. You pick 1 or 2 exercises, 1 or 2 compound exercises for each body part. If you're trying to get bigger, do reps between 6 and 8. I mean, that's a good rep range for me, 6 and 8, right? But you might want to do as much as 12. You might want to do 8 and 12, right? I don't know. You got to see what works for you. But me, 6 and 8, my body responds well to that between 6 and 8. And rest 90 seconds between each set. It's wildly important that you time your rest between each set. If you're not timing your rest, you're just fucking around. You might as well just stay home. Stay home. If you're not timing your rest, just stay home and pretend to work out there. And do 4 sets of each. And do about 4 sets of each, 6 to 8. 4 sets of each, 6 to 8 reps, man. I think those are good parameters. And the beauty of that is, like, you don't kill every muscle to the point where you can't work it again in 48 hours. So you can get actually more volume. Something's in my eye. You can get more volume per body part per week that way than if you just did if you did a split and you only work that body part once a week. Like, you get more volume. But here's the thing: not only would you get more volume, the volume would be more beneficial because it would be all compound exercises. And compound exercises build mass better than isolation exercises, and that is an irrefutable fact. You can search that. You can do your research on that. That is an irrefutable fact. So you're doing the best exercises more often. How are you not going to get bigger? You're only doing the best exercises. What is your take on psychedelic drugs? I've done acid and I've done shrooms. In fact, here's the thing. Funny thing about shrooms. All right, so I was in high school, and I was like 17, and I got sent away to military school, right? Because I lived in a bad neighborhood, Southside Chicago. Get a lot of gangs, drugs, violence. The harsh realities of the street. And my parents sent me away because they didn't think that environment was appropriate for a young man. They were right. That's an awful place outside Chicago. But they sent me away to military school. And in military school, I went from an all black neighborhood to being the only black fucking kid, right? I was the only black kid in my senior class, right? So my roommate was a white dude, and he said, "Yo, man, let's go to this Fish concert." So we were in Milwaukee. We drove to Madison, Wisconsin to go see the band Fish. They're like the Grateful Dead, but not the Grateful Dead. Right, that's how I understand it. And at that concert, we smoked weed, we got drunk, and we did shrooms, right? And then, but here's the thing: we had to take the fucking SATs the next day. We thought, hey man, we'll just fucking go. We'll take we'll sleep for a second, and then we'll drive back, take the SATs in the morning. But we stayed up all night, because you can't really. Here's the thing: when you're taking a psychedelic drug, it's real difficult to sleep. So we stayed up all night, man, and then we went and took our SATs, man, And I just thought, you know what? I'm just gonna have to take this shit over again. I'm fucking high as fuck taking the SATs. And and I did pretty good though. I don't remember my next score, but I got into the college. I got into a bunch of good colleges: Michigan State, DePaul University. Uh, here's the thing, kids: if you get high while you take the test, you'll get high grades. You'll get a high score if you take the test high. No, I'm just kidding. Don't do that. Who knows? I might have got it in the fucking Harvard if I took that shit sober. That's how I kind of think. But I don't think I answered your question. My take, I think they're amazing. It's the most fun you ever have on a drug. But I would never do it again. I've done acid and I've done mushrooms, and I would never do it again just because I liked it so much. I enjoyed it so much, man. It's like, and like, there's something about it though. There's something about like being in that realm, and those of you who've done a psychedelic knows it's like your mind is open, and it'll never be closed. Like you saw something that there's no, how do I put it? There's no substitute for what it does to your mind, like the way it opens up your span of consciousness, and it will stay open, like not forever. I mean, like you won't say how, but like you realize that things. I can't even articulate it. I do not have the words to articulate this feeling. It's like it opens your consciousness in a way that's really like that's profound. Maybe it made me get a better score. You can look this up. 2, not 1, but 2 scientists that have won the Nobel Prize made their discoveries while high on acid. This is not that is a fact. You can search that, you know. So who knows, man? I think more research should be done. The problem is like a lot of like primitive societies, like the Aztecs, or like a lot of like primitive, not that. Okay, a lot of primitive societies, back in the days, who they did a lot of psychedelics, but they also like studied cannibalism and stuff like that. So like modern society is unwilling to even look at these things as they might be beneficial in some way, I don't know. Don't do drugs, is what I'm trying to say. Best exercise to do the human flag. The human flag. I'm telling you, like, just keep trying. You'll eventually get stronger. You'll suck at first. You keep getting better and better. There are no exercises that are going to make it easier to do, except for doing it. I never tried DMT. Would you lift if you were blind? I don't know, man. I don't know if I'd still have the will to live, man. I'm just gonna be real. I'm gonna be frank with you about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, visual sight is important to me. It'd be different if you were born blind and you wouldn't know what you were missing, right? Try to explain to a blind person what the color red is. There's no way you can really articulate that to them. So I don't know. If I can never see no motherfucking ass again, I don't know if I want to live. Yo, man ghost. I don't know what that is really. I'm not familiar with the condition you say you have. I'm not really familiar with that, bro. I'm sorry. Imagine lifting when you high. I've lifted on high off weed before, and I did not like it because you got the time. Here's the thing. I think it's wildly important to time your rest between sets, right? Because it keeps the muscle under a certain amount of tension. And those of you who know, time under tension is one of the important. It's important for fucking reducing hypertrophy. So, like when I'm high, I can't. I just rest too long between sets. But then again, that's something that may be unique to me. Like I know people who only lift high and they're in great shape. Have you ever experienced joint pain while doing skull crushers? Nah, man. Nah, I don't know what that is. Yo, Brandon, solid tips on bulking up. Keep more calories than you burn. Multiply your current weight by 20. That's how many calories you need. Multiply your current weight in pounds. Multiply your current weight in pounds by 20, and that's how many calories you need. Multiply your current weight by 1.5. That's how much protein you need. It's per day. You do that. Follow some good hypertrophy parameters. Set, man. Can't lose. You do that. Do what I say. Do fucking full body workouts. Only compound movements. 1 or 2 compound movements. You know what I'm saying? Like do it 3-4 times a week. You will get fucking swole, man. Can I get bigger without using supplements? Yes. Here's the thing. Supplements are just what they sound. They supplement your diet. They don't. They're not. They just help. They give you a little push. But like, the most important thing is diet. Like it's way more important than anything. Diet followed by training, followed by supplements. If your dieting and training is not right, you can take all the fucking supplements in the world and they won't do shit. You can fucking do all the training in the world, and if your diet's not right, you can take training. Here's the thing: diet is so important. You can take supplements, all the best supplements, do all the fucking best training, and if your diet's not right, you can still not see results. Right? But you definitely can train right and get your diet right and not take supplements and still get results. You know? I hope that made sense. How long did it take you to get those abs? These abs took 15 years, right? But they don't take that long to get. Like if you look at me, like I have like the first year I had a 6-pack. You know what I'm saying? Like within the first year of intensely training abs, I had a 6-pack. You know what I'm saying? Like what I have now is like next level shit. Like you're not just gonna meet a regular person with like abs like with the thickness of mine and the depth. You know, that's gonna take a minute. But like you just get a good set of abs, you should be able to. I'm looking at your picture, Andres. You know, like I don't see your face, but you can tell you can look at somebody's face and neck and see how much body fat they have. Like you're probably not far away now, man. I'm sure you can get abs by the end of the year if you don't have them now. Now to get my abs, I mean my abs are a long time to me. Best way to get calisthenics without snapping some shit up. I don't like that term. But yeah, best way to get calisthenics. First of all, don't be afraid of snapping some shit up, man. You know, guys will say that all the time. I'm bitches. I'm not calling you a bitch, man. Manuel. I believe in you, man. I believe in you. You know, I want to see you succeed. Don't be scared of that shit, man. Watch my video on how to stop being a little bitch. Cause I talked about like I was doing some calisthenics. I was going from an L sit to a handstand. I tried to come back down. I showed it in the video. I came back down too fast. I hit my head on the motherfucking floor, man. Cracked that shit. Junior Turbo was laughing at me and shit. But it hurt bad, man. I might have had a mild concussion, right? Here's the thing, it happens though. You're gonna get hurt sometimes, man. You have to struggle to make progress. You know, sometimes you're gonna get hurt. I'll always have some kind of little injury, something I'm dealing with. That's just part of it, man. That's just part of it. You keep going, you go through it. It makes you stronger. It makes you stronger. Like you think, sometimes like mild injuries make you stronger. Like scar tissue. I mean, it can make you weaker too, you know, honestly. But like if I have a fucking scar right here. I had stitches, right? That skin, when it healed up, is stronger than the other skin. You know what I'm saying? Like when you lift weights, you actually tear the muscle fibers. You know what I'm saying? Like you break them down, and then they come back stronger. It's adaptation. your muscle is adapting. Your body realizes that it's going to be under an additional amount of stress, and it needs another additional amount of stress, and it needs to compensate that by growing additional muscle. So like, if you hurt yourself, you hurt yourself, man. You're gonna be stronger mentally for it. You're gonna be stronger. Like, life's about, life is always gonna hit you, man. You're gonna get hurt whether you try to or not. Not just in the gym, not just doing calisthenics. You're gonna get hurt in life, man. You're gonna get hurt, you know what I'm saying? Women are gonna hurt you, employers are gonna hurt you, other people are gonna hurt you, people you know are gonna die. You know what I'm saying? Bad things are gonna happen to you, bad circumstances outside of your control. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's gonna happen. Like, it's not even something you don't even have to worry about. It's gonna happen. You're gonna get hurt mentally, physically, or emotionally, soon. All of us will. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna happen. It's a part of life. But like, each time it happens, it makes you a little bit stronger. You know what I'm saying? You can deal with more. Like when my father shot himself in the head, that's when I was hurt the most, right? And now, because of that, like, it sucks, right? It sucked that it happened, and it sucks that I don't have a dad, right? But now I'm just so motherfucking strong because I went through that, and that's like, I basically fear nothing now. You know what I'm saying? I basically fear nothing now, right? Because like, nothing could be worse than that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, within reason. Maybe if my fucking arms and legs got chopped off, that might be worse, But the likelihood of that happening is slim. So I'm just saying, don't be scared of getting hurt. You know what I'm saying? Don't be scared of getting hurt. Embrace it, man. Embrace it. Pain is beautiful, man. Pain is beautiful, man. Pain is beautiful. That's part of life. It's the duality. Like, if it wasn't for rain, you wouldn't appreciate sunshine. If I hadn't like dated so many like sluts, I wouldn't appreciate the good woman that I have now. You know what I'm saying? If you were never sick, you wouldn't appreciate health. You would just take it for granted. You know what I'm saying? Pain is beautiful for that reason. Pain is beautiful for that reason, man. The duality. Because of sour, you appreciate the sweet. Embrace it, man. Embrace it. Sometimes you're gonna get hurt, man. Embrace it. Learn and love it. Do you warm up with light weights before a set? Yeah, I usually do like one lightweight warm up before a set. Not before each set, but before I start a new exercise. Can people get taller when they're 21? Don't worry about your height, man. Your height is predetermined by your DNA. There is nothing you can do to increase it, and there is almost nothing you can do to stun it. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't worry about it, man. That's one of the things that are out of control. Only worry about the things that are in the realm of your control, and your height is outside of that. Nice beard. I think you need to grow it longer. I don't even remember why I started growing this shit. You know what? Because it's like, I started growing it, and then like, my homegirl Jasmine said she liked it. She said I looked sexier, and so like, I trust her opinion. So like, I just kept that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because a girl told me I look sexy. But I also like it because when I do this, it's a little more intense, without a clean shave. If you can master this look, you'll never have to be in a fight again. You'll never have to fucking threaten anybody. All you have to do, motherfuckers get right back in line, and it works a little bit better with the beard. Is it young enough to start when you're born? Start lifting weights? Yeah, like start. Sure. If you have the fortitude at such a young age, but you know what? When you're born, you're doing resistance training. You're not lifting weights, but you're doing the resistance training. Like a baby, his neck isn't strong enough to hold it up on his own, but he tries to hold it up on his own. He can't. You have to support his head, but like his neck eventually gets stronger. How do you think that happens? It doesn't happen just cause. It happens because he keeps trying to do it. You know, like it's resistance training. See, I took your little question and I fucking flipped that shit. Some real shit though. What do you think about Mike Chain? I do not think about Mike Chain. What age did you lose your virginity? I was 16, man. No, 17. I was 17. That was older. I was spring break in high school spring break, man. And I met some girl, man. I lied to her, told her I was fucking 19 because she was fucking 23, you know. I fucking lied to her ass, man. It turned her into a statutory rapist. She broke the law that night. Best way to eat pussy. Here's the thing, man. Like, you can take two girls, eat them out exactly the same way. One will fucking love it. It might be the best she's ever had. The other one will hate it and think you're a fucking cocksucker, man. Just women's bodies are just like different, you know. Like, and each girl is gonna be different. Each girl's gonna be. There's no one way to eat a vagina. How often do you work legs? I do full body workouts, so I do so within that full body. I do about 3-4 full body workouts a week, and those each one has a leg in it, so I guess 3-4 times a week. How often should I change my split or program? Listen, you should change something about every 2-3 months. Maybe 2 months. It depends. You know, starting the results are slow. You don't have to change the split exactly. There's a lot of ways to change. You can change parameters and keep the same split. Or you know, if I'm doing a full body workout, I can keep that and I change other parameters. Like I might change the exercises. Right. I might just change from just dumbbells. I might change from all barbells to all dumbbells. Right. Or I might change from, or I might decrease the amount of time I rest in between sets. Or I might change the rep ranges. You know, like so many ways you can manipulate the parameters or the resistance or your training without changing the split. Like I don't almost never change the split, but I change so much things. You can still get muscle confusion so many different ways. You can like fucking increase the negative on all your sets. Go down 2 seconds. You know what I'm saying? Like you can do so much shit. You know, like you don't have to change the split per se if you find something that works for you. I mean, languages you speak, bro. I speak Spanish. I mean, enough to talk to a motherfucker and understand them. Enough to holler at a Spanish chick if I needed to. And I tried, like I said, I think I said just before, I attempted to learn Chinese. I had Rosetta Stone and all that shit, but Chinese is one of the top 5 most difficult languages in the world to learn, and I just realized it wasn't worth. I I gave up. I gave up, man. But sometimes I know what I said. It might seem contradictory. So, oh, Brandon, you gave up. But here's the thing: like sometimes you don't know how difficult something is, and then like when you wanna, sometimes you realize that the juice isn't worth the squeeze. You know what I'm saying? Like it might be better to allocate your resources to something more worthwhile. And if you find out that it's more labor intensive than you're willing to, you know, it requires more than you're willing to put in. If it's more labor intensive than you want it to be, right? So like, and that's fine. Just make peace with like that. I don't complain about not knowing Spanish. I mean, complain about not knowing Chinese. I don't make a big deal about it. It's what it is, you know. So like, if you find out that like working out or fitness or gaining muscle is too much work for you, then that's cool, man. That's cool. Like, just don't do it, but don't complain about it, and don't try to ridicule others or you know what I'm saying. Like, just if you find out if you're doing something, you find out that it's not worth the juice isn't worth the squeeze, then stop sooner. Cut your losses. You know what I'm saying? Cut your losses. But if it's something that if it is important enough to you. Right, because learning Chinese wasn't really important to me. I wasn't going to be that useful for me. It was just kind of like I was just doing it for bragging rights, so I could tell motherfuckers I speak Chinese and motherfuckers think I'm smart, right? That wasn't. When I found out how labor intensive it was, I found out okay, it's not worth that, right? So like, but fitness is worth that kind of struggle for me. You know what I'm saying? Where something is worth it if it's If it's important enough, you'll find a way. If it's not important enough, you'll find an excuse. Chinese wasn't important enough. How long does it take to speak Spanish? Like I said, with anything, man. Like I said, with just anything. How long do you want it to take, man? You know what I'm saying? If you want it to be fast, man, put in fucking 5 hours of study a day. You know what I'm saying? If you don't mind it being slow, study for half an hour a day. You know what I'm saying? Like, how long do you want it to take? It's cool because your mom side of the family speaks Spanish, so you have a lot of opportunities to speak it. You know, the more practice you get with it, the faster you'll learn it. It'll be quick, man. Favorite cheat meal? I do not do cheat meals. I do cheat days, entire days, and I cheat death on that day. I don't believe in just one cheat meal. I do the whole fucking day, man. I do the whole fucking day, and that's good for your hormones, especially if you're dieting. Like if you're cutting, like you want to go back. You want to like when you're dieting and your calories are low for an extended amount of time, your hormone levels start to decrease. You know, hormones, the ones specifically the ones that pertain to fat loss, like leptin. So like when you have a whole cheat day where you you up your caloric intake for 24 hours or however long you're awake for that day, now then your hormones jump back up and you'll actually burn more fat that way because you have to tell your body that you're not starving, you're not in starvation mode. So do the whole cheat day, man. How long have you been playing the guitar? I played the guitar for about, I guess 5 years, but the first 2 years I kind of just fucked around. Like I didn't like the last 3 years is when I really like focused on getting good at it. I'm fucking nice. I also play keyboard and I play drums. I've been playing the drums since I was a kid. I started with the trumpet. That was the first instrument I ever played. I just didn't like it though. I didn't like the trumpet, man. Do you train flexibility stuff like front side splits? Nah, it's not important. I'm 14 years old. Is it healthy? Keep up with your diet? Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Probably a lot more healthier than most 14-year-old kids are eating. You know. Yeah, man. How much does your home gym cost approximately? I have a video on that, and if you will go to highlifeworkout.com, there's a fucking section where I talk where all my the home gym equipment I have. Um, I don't know, maybe like 1,500. I didn't spend it all at once though. I could have though. I get money. What do BCAA works? Sometimes like if you're doing fasted training, BCAAs are good to take prior prior to the training if you're training fasted to help prevent muscle breakdown. Do you like fish? Yeah, it's my favorite dish. Without no money, it's just a wish. Can you drink? Presumably you mean alcohol. I just don't like drinking alcohol that much. I probably drink like once or twice a month, man. Like just because I don't like it that much, you know. I'm just not that into it. How do we keep hairless? I just don't grow a lot of hair, man. Like I actually have hair. I don't shave my chest or anything or my arms. I have hair on there. It's just you can't see it. It doesn't show up on camera. Like the hairs on my arm are actually fucking blonde right now. I don't know. I have like 5 hairs on my chest. I don't need to shave them because they just don't show up on camera. You know, like I'm just not a hairy dude, man. Like my dad was the same way. I'm just not a hairy guy. Like even my armpits don't have much hair. Like I'm just not a hairy dude. Like I can't. I wasn't even able to grow this until 4 years ago. Funny thing is, I started going bald in high school. But all the men in my family, you know, not high school, but college, early college. How much time you spend in the gym every time? I don't know, like an hour. Sometimes more though. Sometimes more. Sometimes I go 2 hours. But I don't need to. You heard, like you saw my split, like when you're doing a full body routine, if you're only doing 1 or 2 exercises per body part, it shouldn't take. And if your time and your rest between sets, it shouldn't. You should be able to get that done in an hour, man. How long does it take before you lose muscle? You mean? I guess you mean like not training. Uh, it depends. I don't know because I've never not trained for more than a week. So I have no fucking clue. I don't know what it's like to train to not train for more than a week. I heard something called muscle memory. Can you talk about this? Uh, People sometimes they mean two things when they say that. One, they mean like learning how to do something, like as far as like you learn how to do something, like your muscle remembers how to curl a bicep. But other times people mean like your muscles get softer. I mean like your muscles like you lose muscle, but they grow back faster. They have memory. Some people mean like that. Um, it depends on what you mean. Uh, it's like a lot of times when people get strong, a lot of times when I'm training somebody or I'm training somebody, it seems like they get real strong the first 2 weeks. But really, it's like they learn how to do the exercise. Their body acclimates itself to each exercise, and they learn how to do it. Like their neurotransmitters know how to fire off. Their nervous system adapts to the exercise. So it's not they don't necessarily get stronger. They just learn how to do it. So sometimes that's what people. Uh, what do you think about green smoothies? I have a video on it. I have a video on it. I think it's good. I'm drinking green tea right now. I know that's not what your question was. I just felt like saying it. How do I get solid, blocky abs like yours? Two things. One, you do my ab exercises, do my workouts. Another big thing is like the reason mine are so solid is I use weights with them, and I have some videos on it. Like I add resistance to my ab workouts. So like if you're just doing body weight shit, if you want your shit thick and blocky abs like me, or like a bodybuilder, like you gotta add resistance to your weight training. That's where you're gonna pop out, right? If you just want motherfucking ripped abs like an Abercrombie model or something, then you just do body weight stuff with your abs. And like I do both. I like to switch it off. Like one day I'll do just like higher rep ab stuff, like my abdominal assault workout. That's fucking intense. It's an intense workout. And then on my rest of the day, then the next day I'll do like cable crunches, dragonflies, things that would the higher resistance where I can only do more. I can't do more than 10 reps. And I think when you work those together, your abs benefit from that. So you get the blocks and you get the rips. You get the size from the lower rep heavier stuff with more resistance, and you get like the real cuts and the definition from the higher rep stuff. Oh, what I wanted to say, man, I meant to say this at the beginning of this shit, but I was talking about some other bullshit. I put all my fucking workouts in a playlist now. Not all of them. I'm starting to put my videos in playlists. So if you go to my page, I have like the 15-minute ab workouts. They're all in a playlist now. You know what I'm saying? And like below that, there's other playlists. I'm gonna keep adding it too. Like I have the 15-minute fat burning workouts in there. They're in a playlist. So like, yo, check it out. I have the motivational videos in the playlist, and I'm gonna keep adding to those playlists and adding additional playlists with time. But like, yo, check it out. I got playlists now, man. I'm out here with the playlist. How many bitches do you smash weekly? Uh, Yo, man, only girl I have sex with is the one I live with, man. You know what I'm saying? Women are like reps. You know, somebody bench presses fucking 100 pounds 20 times. That's not as impressive as somebody benching 400 pounds once. Women are like reps. Good quality reps are more important. How's your plans training going? I mean, it's going. It just takes a long time. That's one of the most difficult moves to get, and it's making it even harder because I'm gaining a little bit of weight. So like I'm actually becoming heavier, so I'm increasing the resistance before I even have it. Do you prefer a bulky body or a shredded one? I don't prefer anything on any other guys. You know, for me, I like to stay. I like to be like I like to be like around. I think I'd like to go up to like I'm 187 murder. 187 today. I'm weighing myself today. I'd like to get up to like 210, man. That's not gonna happen this year. Probably not gonna happen next year. You know what I'm saying? Because I want to do it slow. I don't want to gain fat. I'd rather do it slow. Just take my time, man. If I was on roids, like everyone accused me of it, I can fucking get that shit. You know what I'm saying? By the end of the year. All right, man. I think I answered the green smoothie question. It's cool. I have a video on some of the fucking green. I think I answered that BCAA question. Maybe like there's a delay. Maybe there's like some kind of delay between when you guys hear it and when you type it. What age did you start lifting? 16. You think you had better abs than Steve Cook? Not a competition. It's not a competition, man. I like Steve. I subscribe to his YouTube. He's a cool dude. What do you think of Zeez's? I don't know. I don't know what that is. Yo, shout out from Africa. What up? No, somebody says hold back on cheat days. Do a cheat. No, that's wrong because when you're in a caloric deficit, you're about for an extended amount of time, like a full week, your hormones start to shut down, and like you actually start to lose less weight because your body thinks it's in starving. So your hormones, it's not just calories in, calories out. Your hormones play a significant role in it, right? A significant role in it, right? Fucking steroids are nothing but synthetic testosterone. Synthetic and testosterone is a hormone. Your hormones count, man. Your fucking hormones count. So if you're fucking after a like a sufficient amount of time in a caloric deficit, your body's gonna think it's gonna shut down a lot of your hormones. It's gonna lower your testosterone rate. It's gonna lower your leptin levels, and you're gonna burn less fat. That's why you do. That is why you do a cheat meal, not just to eat the food you want, but because it helps you lose fat. You do a cheat day, not just a meal. It helps you lose fat by telling your body you're not starving and raising your testosterone and your leptin levels back up to normal back. Doesn't raise them like through the roof, but it gets them back to baseline levels because the caloric deficit has shrinked them. I mean, yeah, I saw people always say calories in, calories out, but there's more to it than that. Like your hormones play a vital role in that shit. Your hormones play in it. Your hormones play a huge role in not only how you look, your progress, but like your overall health, man. Like diabetes is a fucking hormone problem. Your hormones count, man. It's not just calories in, calories out. What do you think of bio growth? Like I said before, I don't know what the fuck that is, man. I don't know what that is. I have no recollection. Your left eyebrow is different than the other. Yeah, I smashed it. Oh, I, I fucking hit my head when I was a little kid. Bam, I hit my head on something and the hair fell out. Never grew back, man. How do I get a stronger core? I never really understand what people mean by that. It seems like sometimes the core is just a marketing term. Like when you work your abs, you work. I don't know if you can work your abdominal muscles without working your core. Like a lot of times when people say, "Hey man, you work your core," it seems like a lot of times just a marketing ploy. Like just do abdominal exercises. Oh, yo, what up? What up? I'm about to end it though. I'm about to end it. Oh shit. About to end this podcast. You know, I'm about to end this now. I'm a rapid fire for the next 5 minutes. I'm just gonna rapid fire questions. I'm not gonna take a long time. Cause the baby girl home. You saying wifey's home, man. So I gotta take her home, brother. I gotta take her home. Well, what advice would you give somebody trying to be a personal trainer? Don't. You know what I'm saying? Pick a career where you can make some serious money. You know what I'm saying? Major, if you're young, man, major, you look young, man, major in finance. Get some real money. Don't fuck around with this bullshit. Unless you love it, you know, whatever. If you love it, like I love it, you know. But I don't know, man. Don't do it, man. Don't do it. Do something where you can more lucrative. Who'd you get to CPT with? The first one was Alpha. Do you have a personal nutritionist? No, I am a certified nutritionist and trainer. I'm 6'2". What do you think of living in the USA? It's awesome. I've never lived anywhere else long term, but I've visited many different countries and continents. I'm just trying to wrap them up, man. Thoughts on intermittent fasting thing? I talked about it to nauseating extent on other videos. You should check my ebook. Check the link in the description. I have a whole chapter about it. You know what I'm saying? I love it. I said earlier in this thing, I'm doing it all year round. I'm bulky. I'm bulky. Look at the video I posted yesterday. I'm bulking on intermittent fasting. Uh, yes, I know my left eyebrow was fucked up. I smashed it when I was a little kid. Uh, I have a six pack, but I have a fat belly button. Or here's the thing: you still men have more fat cells in our stomachs. So like you can't lose fat in one spot. You got to lose fat accumulatively. But men have more fat cells in their stomach. So when someone says I want to burn belly fat or I want to burn man boobs or I want to burn like that, I don't give a fuck where the fat is. You know what I'm saying? You have to burn fat accumulatively in order to burn fat anywhere. You know, you're not gonna burn fat in one spot. It doesn't work like that. Anybody who tells you uh, anybody who tells you differently is either ignorant or being disingenuous. You have 2 million subscribers in 2 months. Yo, that'd be dope. Uh, could a hard labor job be as cardio? Certainly, certainly, certainly. I worked for a moving company at one point. You know what I'm saying? I've worked construction. I've done all types of shit. Thanks for all the advice. You're welcome. Glad I could help. I'm gonna try to just rapid fire off some of these questions, man. I'm 6 foot 270, trying to get ripped. I already lost 20 pounds. Thank you. What do you think it would be safe to start cheat days? Well, if you're in caloric deficit for a whole week, you know what I'm saying? Like your cheat day is going to be beneficial for you because your hormones are going to go low after a whole week, especially your lipid levels. Like I talk about this in detail in my book, Ultimate Cuts: 7 Secrets to Burn Fast as Hell. It's in the description. I would go into more detail if I could, but I only got 2 minutes left, man. I've been doing this for 2 hours. We're going to hit the 2 hour mark. Is your book only available on Kindle? Yes, it is only available on Kindle. You can get, but you can, here's the thing. You can download the Kindle app for any smartphone device. That's why I got it that's why I put it on Kindle only, because one day I want to consolidate all the reviews and consolidate all the, have it just in one spot. It's easier to for me to manage. But you can get the Kindle app for anything, for iPhone, Android. The only thing is with iPhone, you gotta buy the Kindle app, link it to your Amazon account, then go to Amazon.com and buy it, and then Amazon will send it to their app. Apple, they're weird about shit, so they won't let you buy the book from the app. But you have to download the app to buy the book first, whatever, or any Kindle book. What do you think of energy drinks? It doesn't matter, you know what I'm saying? Like, listen, energy is just a bunch of caffeine, you know, and Red Bull has less caffeine than a fucking cup of coffee. You know, like, if you're gonna drink it, drink sugar free, man. You The only thing bad about caffeine, is that your adrenal gland, like how caffeine works is it makes your adrenal gland secrete adrenaline, right? And if you do it too much for too long, your adrenal gland forgets how to produce adrenaline on its own independently without outside stimulus, and then that's where the withdrawal symptoms come in. That's why you start to feel weak. I thought you didn't count. Saw you count calories. Thought you didn't count calories. Listen, I'm just trying something different, man. And I'm trying to take it to the next level. Like I'm trying to be like counting calories, doing it right. It's extreme because you have to manage everything. You can't just fucking. You have to weigh everything. You have to measure everything. Like it's extreme. Like to do it right, you can't eat out. Everything you have to be prepared at home. Like it's extreme. So I wouldn't recommend anyone do it like that. Like I would because unless you're trying to be unless you're extremists, or you're trying to compete or like do anything on a high level. You just want to get ripped. You just want to get big muscles. You don't need to count. You can do the portion size method. It's fine for you. I'm just trying something different. All right, thanks. Melatonin is good. I take it almost every day, man. Uh, no, protein will not damage anything. Whoever told you that's bullshit. Whey protein will not hurt you if you're young. It's fine. They give it to babies every day, man. It's one of the main ingredients in whey protein is one of the main ingredients in baby formula. It's a byproduct of the cheese manufacturing process. It's as natural as cheese is, right? It's fucking. It's dairy, man. It's as natural as cheese as milk is. They give it to babies every day. There are people in America who have been taking it since infancy, and they're fine. Sorry, I didn't mean to get mad at you. Favorite muscle to work out? Arms. Arms. All right, guys. I love y'all. Thanks for showing up. Yo, boot camp this week. Got another boot camp this week. It's been going great. Free, 100% free. Queen is in Astoria Park. 10 p.m. by the pull-up bars. Show up. Show up around 9:30. We've been getting we've been getting a real good turnout, man. I've just been real proud of it. It feels good to be able to help. All right, guys. Take it easy, man.